Welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel. This week at Manchester United, Luke Shaw's looking shredded. Rashford returned to Carrington, but are the striking options already starting to dry up and we're not even halfway through July? Get involved, have your say in the chat as usual, and we'll try and discuss some of your comments throughout today's video. First place I want to start though, some news that I've seen before we come out live on air is on Mbeumo. Do you want to tell everyone?
Yeah, well, the Mbeumo news, new deadline was set, as we all know, but Brentford came back into training on Monday, that's what we know, and Mbeumo was told to come back next week. So it looks like they've got to get down, do a deal, and maybe this weekend we'll see him. So that's the news. He's not in Brentford, he's out for another week, and the possibilities weekend?
To me, I think it's a positive. You're looking at it, Brentford have already got it in their heads and the plans that he's not going to be involved now going into the season with Brentford, and they're probably looking at getting this deal done. It's just always seems to be coming back to the point of these add-ons with the deal, that they're not satisfied, Brentford, and you never know what sort of add-ons Omar Barada's trying to put in there. I mean, he could be saying that Man United could be winning the Premier League next season or something like that, and you'll get an extra £2.5 million. Who knows?
You might get an extra £3 million if we win it 3 years on the run. You just don't know. But Brentford are looking at these add-ons and saying they're unachievable. So to be honest with you, I can't imagine what United are putting in there where Brentford have balked at it and gone, these are unachievable. Go back, come back with something realistic. That seems to be the thing what's holding the deal up.
Yeah, going on to Rashford as well, even though the famous five or the minus five, whatever you might call them, in Rashford, Sancho, Anthony, Garnacho and Malacia have been told to come back later in the month to training. He has actually returned this week, Rashford, but it's to do with individual training. Now, I think a lot of yous out there know our views on Rashford and others like Sancho in this current Manchester United squad, but I do see this as a bit of a positive. This isn't something I'm going to start losing my head over or getting worked up over. For me, if he's doing his training, it's only a positive that he's trying to keep fit, looking for a new club. Yeah,
I don't think there's any reason to lose sleep over what Rashford gets up to. Listen, we all know that some of these players, they could have carried on doing private sessions in training outside. We've seen the pictures, social media and everything right through the summer. He could have done it. Just a bit of PR for Marcus Rashford. So nothing to lose our head over. And Marcus Rashford, story continues.
Something I did see, and I'm sure a few of you out there have seen this. I think it's coming through Fabrizio Romano yesterday. I'll get it up on screen shortly. The left back that we sold, was it about 12, 18 months ago? Alvaro Fernandez. Looks like he's off to Real Madrid, and myself and a lot of fans out there remember when he left United to go to Benfica. We couldn't work it out why they'd actually sold him, to be honest.
Well, I couldn't work it out why we sold him. I'd spoke to people inside there what had worked with Alvaro, and they said he was a great prospect and everything. Unbelievable, 4 years, no appearances at Man United. Came as a 17-year-old, and then he ended up at Benfica. He's ended up Madrid's #1 target for a left-back. Top target. Unbelievable what United have done there. But the only consolation for this academy player, what now is going on to Real Madrid, is that we'll get some of the extra transfer fee.
Well, we've put a sell-on clause in, haven't we? And you're looking at Fernandez, a sell-on clause. You're actually looking at Alanga as well. And, you know, in this summer transfer window, it looks like we're making more money off sell-on clauses than actual players in the current squad and shifting them out the door.
Well,
that's typical Man United,
that seems to be the way. And it looks like, you know, you look at some other players, there's stories out there that who we've sold might be getting sold on. So bringing money in, it just looks like the players we've sold cheap, we might be getting some pennies back. But, hey, Alanga, you know, I always thought Alanga was a good player. I loved him in his training, the things he did and that. But he's going on there. Will he improve Newcastle? Well, time will tell on that, but
I wish him the best of luck, mate, to be honest with you, Alanga. I really liked him. I think he had that dedication and a professionalism about him where he wanted to work hard. And look where he's ending up now, you know, a big money move to Newcastle, be playing Champions League football. And I've got to wish him the best of luck, to be honest with you, because he looks a proper sound lad, and you don't get many of them in this current Manchester United squad. So I wish him the best of luck, and I do think he will improve. Not many players don't improve over the last 2 years, 3 years at Newcastle. They're actually being made better players under Eddie Howe.
I just look at Alanga at Old Trafford. I think he was like squeezed out by some star name players, what United looked at and wanted to keep them happy. I thought his work rate and everything, I thought he loved being at United, and that's the sad thing about it. But hey, if he goes on and does well, fantastic for the kid.
Yeah, great chant as well for Elanga. Pity we missed him, because I did enjoy belting that one out inside Old Trafford. But Luke Shaw as well. I mean, this has gone a little bit under the radar, I think, across social media, maybe YouTube as well. But Luke Shaw, I mean, we all know opinions out there on Luke Shaw, and I think we will align with a lot of opinions on Shaw out there. But I mean, he's looking shredded. He's looking in the best physical condition that I've seen him for a very long time, in a Manchester United shirt as well.
Well, if you look at Luke Shaw, we've just talked about Alvaro Fernandez there. He was there 4 years at United, Alvaro. Listen, Luke Shaw's contract was longer than him. And you look at Luke Shaw now, does look fit. And you've got to ask yourself, why does he look fit? No way did I expect him to look like that. And it clearly gets right up everyone's nose when you mention Luke Shaw. Yeah. He gets up my nose, there's no two ways about it, because of his attitude and everything, turning up. He always seemed to be like chunky when he turned up, but not fit. I remember him being sent away when he turned up once at Old Trafford for pre-season, and they sent him away for 6 weeks. Absolutely disgraceful attitude at times. But you look at him and what's his game? That's what you've got to ask yourself. What's his game here? He wants to be in that World Cup squad. He might not get the start in place, but you just never know through injuries. He has to stay fit. And I think he's putting everything into it. And for one reason, and that's me going in on Luke Shaw, for one reason only, he's looking to be in that World Cup squad next summer. So for me, that's all he's doing. But I might be totally wrong. He might just come back. He might have it, like, carry on with his career and all that for the next couple of years at Man United, and I might have egg on my face. But I'm only telling you what I've seen of Luke Shaw over the years. One lucky man to get the contract he got, because really, with the injuries he's had, and you all agree with it, he should have gone a long time ago.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a big surprise or a shock if Luke Shaw got injured before the Premier League season starts. But how many games are you thinking here? A little side bet. How many games do you think Luke Shaw will be available for? I'm not saying start, but how many games next season?
I think he'll be here the right way through. Right up to November, at least.
So overall, in the season, you think, obviously no Champions League, European football, Premier League, cup competitions. How many games do you think he'll be available for? Let me know.
Look, I'm having a guess here. He'll be here till the end of November before he gets the rest.
You're proper swerving that one. I'm going to say Luke Shaw will be available for 25 games next season. I'm going 25 games. I'm going 25 games.
So I'll have to.
It's a World Cup year for Luke Shaw.
Yeah,
he will put everything into that to make sure he's in peak condition week in, week out. Don't get wrong, could have egg on my face. He could be injured before the Premier League season starts.
No, the way he's come back, the way he looks as fit as ever. And with his head looking at the World Cup, I'd say he'd be involved in 28 to 30 games. But hey, Luke Shaw's Luke Shaw. You just never know, do you?
Yeah, no, it does. But yeah, moving on to what else did you pick up earlier on?
Well, it's the Amazon deal. Absolutely. I don't know whether anyone's seen it. Amazon wanted to come in, do a fly-on-the-wall documentary, all areas, access all areas, as they say. Omar Barada trying to get this in. I know they did it at City under Omar Barada, but I just could not believe what I was hearing. I could not believe that they were going to, for £10 million, going to get Amazon in, cameras everywhere. This club needs rebuilding. It's dire. And for this cameras to capture everything, and to be honest with you, how did they think Ruben Amorim would react to it? He's trying to get this squad, most of it out, trying to turn the standards round. Everything about the club is just on the floor, and they wanted to bring cameras in for 10 million. Are they that desperate for 10 million? Or, as people will say, are they that stupid for PR and everything else like that? I could not believe. I don't know your reaction out there. I've not seen anything out there. But me,
You say
I was first.
No, but you say
No,
PR.
no,
I
look,
don't see how it would be positive PR with what's going on currently.
Well, that's the amazing thing about it.
That is the actual worry about it, that they were actually discussing this deal for that amount of time during that period of season, what we had. Well, throughout the whole season, let's face it. But all that was going on, and they've got that in their brains there. They think it might be a good idea for that to happen like the following season. It's absolutely nuts, to be honest with you. And
why aren't they? Look, let me tell you this. I don't understand what Omar Barada's getting involved with something like that for, when the priority, and everyone knows this is what we keep getting told, the priority is sort the football out and turn this club round and change everything in it. And then they want to stick cameras in. I'm really, I used this word the other day. I'm aghast. I'm going to use it again, right? But the thing is, it is absolutely bonkers. There's no other words for it, to be honest. Bonkers.
Let's be straight with ourselves here, though. Every single person watching this stream, including us, would watch it. Not one person wouldn't watch it.
I wouldn't watch it.
You wouldn't watch it?
I wouldn't have to. No, look, let me tell you.
Because I'll tell you one thing, if that Amazon documentary was done, we'd be sat on here on a YouTube channel on our videos discussing it. So you might as well watch it. Every single person would watch it.
There is no benefit.
I understand the cons of it and the way football's shifting, allowing cameras more and more access inside the football clubs. But every single Manchester United supporter would watch it. Why wouldn't you watch it?
There is no benefit whatsoever to Manchester United. It would absolutely destroy, and any sponsor and all that listening to it, right, would be cringing at some of the things. There is no good points going to come out of it if it went ahead. They would all look for the negative. You know what the media's like, and to be constantly hit with it as the season goes on, once the documentary's finished, right, all the bad news coming out. How much would that undermine the club? That's what I'm saying about Omar Barada. He's the CEO, and I do not understand how he cannot see that. And that doesn't bode well going forward for any other decisions. Now, I understand, right, looking at this right, why Ruben Amorim was in so many interviews last year, because that's the way they seem to be going. And Kieron disagrees with one or two of things I think about it, right? But it's PR. They love the PR. They think it'll be good for creating sponsorship and all that. But I think sponsorships with people would be cringing at it, because there is no benefit, only the negative. But hey, that's my opinion.
This documentary would have been given the green light if Manchester United were in a better position on the football pitch, and probably financially, but they're not right now. And I do agree with that, you know, the troubling thing is that they discussed it, I think it was for 5 or 6 months of last season, or the course of the season, which is baffling considering what was actually going on. And for me, like I say, I mean, I think everyone would watch it. You might say you won't, but you actually will, whether you watch the full thing or you see clips on social media or even read about what's gone on in there. And I think it would be an eye-opener for a lot of people as well to see actually what goes on inside the football club, depending on what sort of access they would have got in there. I would have watched it. I'm going to put my hand up.
But this would have done. Look, it's
to do with my football club.
This calls into question the priority. What's the priority? If they were talking for 4 or 5 months and that, there was bigger priorities. Surely there was bigger priorities. Tell me I'm wrong. There was bigger priorities. We finished 15th. We could have finished 17th. Okay? Worst season ever. Okay? The worst season ever. Yeah. There was bigger priorities. Not looking at £10 million for an Amazon all-access areas. No, I am absolutely baffled at the mentality of our chief executive officer. When he's come from City, he's supposed to be experienced, supposed to understand. Was this part of his role to bring in something like that? I just don't understand it. But who authorised it? Ratcliffe must have authorised it. Brailsford must have authorised it.
They'll come to Omar. He's the CEO. He'll discuss it with all board members and stuff like that.
Well, they must have all authorised it.
And then they'll sit down, and by the reports, what I've seen, and I'm sure a lot of yous out there, it was more board members who were on the idea of wanting to do this. But the final decision, I mean, is it true that Ruben Amorim was the one and he had the decision of to block this and not go ahead with it? I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I'm glad that he did do, currently because of the state the football club's in, but I'm not too sure whether it was his decision alone that stopped this from going ahead. I think when there's money involved with this football club, we know how hungry Sir Jim Ratcliffe is for a bit of dosh. I just don't think it was all down to hammering.
I agree on that. I don't think we'll ever know who had the final say. The reports out there are saying it's Ruben Amorim what kiboshed it, but whether that's true or not, like I say, we'll never know.
Let's see in the next few years. Let's see if they revisit that and something like that does get done. But a lot of you's getting involved with your opinions on that. Some differences of opinion as well, which is good to see. So keep getting it in and get it in the comments section as well. And we didn't do a video yesterday. I think we needed a little bit of time off with all the transfer news.
I did.
Hoping a little bit of something positive maybe in Boomo. Other stories might have come out. But as you can see on screen there, and this was from Laurie Whitwell and Critchley from The Athletic, Manchester United have been offered the chance to sign several free agents, namely Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Jamie Vardy, Callum Wilson. It is expected that United would only advance on these, if at all, towards the end of the window, if they do not get any of their top targets. It'd be good to hear, though, these journalists actually come out and say who United's top targets are, though, as well. Well, you know, start naming some players, do a bit of digging.
Well, it's poor journalism, that. Yeah. That's just like a slow news day, just coming up with something like that. It doesn't make sense that Man United might advance on this towards the end of the transfer window. Well, just tell us who they're actually going for. We've only got Mbeumo in sight. Everything else is just hearsay, people making up stories and that. Just poor journalism, but that's what we're seeing. We've seen it now since that Europa League finals. After that, it's just poor journalism. No one seems to have the finger on the pulse. United don't seem to be coming out with anything. And the reason they're probably not coming out with anything is because once we've got Mbeumo, that's the two signings. And then move on the Deadwood. And once you move on the Deadwood, they might go and get something because that's Ruben Amorim's stance. And I stick with that. But these journalists, they talk about the inside United, this, that and the other. They know this, they know that. They're not actually telling you any concrete facts. And that's how poor it is. Now, we didn't turn round yesterday and report anything because it was poor. But I had a doctor's appointment. So that was the reason why. Not because it was a poor news day. And at the end of the day, it's my yearly checkup. And
it's something that all men should do as well, to be honest with you. Your doctor's appointment yesterday is something... should get checked up about. But Graham Wowo Gold says, why doesn't MUTV do what Amazon would have done? Then the club can dictate what gets shared, and then they can sell the rights to content, and then they've got it reviewed, and then they can also review it. Sorry.
Did they need the hassle? Come on, let's be truthful here. Did the players and all that? Some people, soon as they see the cameras, they'll be acting and all that, right? That's what happens. Okay, did he really need that distraction? Okay, let's get on with the football. Let's get this team playing football. Let's get the players in. That's the sole thing what should be prioritised. People don't need this. The people in the background, the men in suits, right, running around, sorting this out. No, sort out the club. Sort out the club. I've said Ruben Amorim shouldn't even be doing interviews. Not for quite a while anyway. Okay, until we get to the football season. But, oh no, they'll have him out there. This is madness. Madness. There's priorities there. People, the men in suits should be doing things. Not this. To me, this is childish. This is silly.
It is indeed. It is silly. Can we just get back into the live chat now? Thomas Nolan, Garnacho thought there would be clubs banging down his door. He exposed himself wearing that Villa shirt and insulting the fans out in Asia.
Well, I've got to agree. I think he
was actually on holiday.
I think he agreed. I think he thought people would be banging his door down, and it's not that way. But I did say, and lots of yous out there did say, that he's exposed himself. He didn't listen to Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim had a word with him a few times, carried on playing him, got him in the team, got him in the squad, brought him back. And he just never changed. But people have seen that. And to do what he did, putting a Rashford shirt on, an Aston Villa shirt, he knew what he was doing. And he was like, just giving that to the club and its fans. Does anyone really want somebody like that who plays silly games and that? Nah, I don't think so. So I think he might have knocked quite a few quid off the valuation of Man United. And I'm not too sure what the valuation is. I'm not clear whether United have actually come out with a statement. I've seen things 60 million, 70 million. But whatever it is, his actions have been bought. And I think he's shocked. And I think a lot of us are shocked.
Listen, if he wants to go to Villa wearing that Villa shirt, get on the next playing coach, wherever.
He don't want to go to Villa.
Go and speak to Unai Emery. Do you want our sulky kid? Get him in there. Put something in a sell-on clause, bit of a swap deal with Ollie Watkins. Get Ollie Watkins in a Manchester United shirt. It will solve a current problem we currently have. But let's wait and see where we do end up going and what strikers we do actually go for. A lot of you still getting involved in the chat, still talking about the Amazon documentary, talking about Garnacho, people mentioning Rashford as well. Jadon Sancho still always talk every day really with Juventus. Doesn't really sound as though there's anything getting close to like concrete on a move though.
Well, my mate got in touch with me once, Jadon Sancho, where they were offering three players. And my mate turned round to me, and I think a lot of people would agree. They'd rather have the three clowns instead of like Sancho, the swapping the players, because it won't work. These swaps don't work. Man United being offered, I think it's just hearsay. It's all down to Sancho's wages, and it's just stories. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of Sancho and I'm sick of Rashford, like everybody else out there. And it's just stories being made up. We want positive action. We want positive news. That's what we want.
Just like to thank you all for joining us today, getting involved in the chat. Fred Grantham earlier on gifted 10 memberships.
Oh, thank you,
Fred. The legend, and the 10 people, sorry, who was gifted their memberships. Big thank you to Fred. We'll be back tomorrow with another video, so get that notification on, and we'll see you again soon, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day. Thank you.